India's premier spirits company, United Spirits Limited, or USL, seems to be suffering a massive and ugly hangover. Over the last 6 months, USL has written off over 4,300 crore rupees, eroding its net worth by half. A considerable amount is on account of receivables from Malia's holding company, UBHL. Then last week, public shareholders voted down several related party transactions with Malia entities, overtly expressing their discontent with the company's ownership and management. Vijay Mallya, as you know, has been declared willful defaulter, as has his holding company UBHL. And even though he's contesting this ignominious tag, the consequences are already being felt. This week, Mallya's position on the Kingfisher board did not get ministry approval, and he also had to step off the board of another group company, MCF. Despite all this, Vijay Mallya continues as the chairman of United Spirits, all thanks to support from majority shareholder Diageo. So it falls upon us to ask, isn't it time Vijay Mallya steps down as chairman of USL? To answer that question, I have with me corporate lawyer Sanjay Asher and former SEBI director and SES co-founder JN Gupta. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. The first instance I want to bring up in order to be able to answer my question has to do with the large number of write-downs that USL has taken after having delayed its financial accounts for several months. I won't go through all the write-downs. Many of them are very suspicious. I want to bring up only 2 instances. There have been cases of USL debtors, people that owed USL money, saying, we will not return this money to you because we have loaned money to Malia entities. Until they don't pay us back, we won't pay you back. Some of those debtors in the last 2 months have miraculously changed their story, but there's still a large amount of money stuck in that instance. The second and most shocking one is to do with a gentleman or a person or an entity who claims that he gave a loan of 200 crore rupees to Kingfisher Airlines, right? He wrote to USL about this and said that this loan, one of the bases for this loan was a lien created on some USL investments. 3 months or 2 months after he wrote to USL saying, please convert that lien into a pledge, he suddenly withdrew his claim and said, sorry, my lawyers missed some details in an addendum. As USL investigated this story, they've come to find out that yes, in fact, there was an agreement between KFA and this alleged entity, and that agreement did create a lien on some USL investments. The USL board says we never approved any such lien. The USL management says we had no knowledge of any such lien. These are 2 ugly instances of the kinds of financial transactions that have taken place at USL over the last several months. Would you say that these in themselves, Mr. Gupta, are grounds enough for Vijay Mallya to introspect and say, this is what has gone on under my regime, I should step down?
The question is very pertinent, and the answer is very simply that legally speaking, as of now, there is nothing which requires Mr. Mallya to step down. But we are not discussing the legal issue. We are discussing what is right, what is wrong. And ethically, morally, and from the governance perspective, he has no business to continue on the board of USL sitting as a chairman, because we had pointed in our report also that inquiries were going on and USL board had ordered inquiry. How can an inquiry be fair and transparent when the person who is inquired against or the company which are inquired against is sitting at the helm of the company? So we said that Mr. Mallya should step down as a chairman at least till such time the inquiries are over, the reports are there. And now when what are you pointing out is very simply that all throughout the company was run as a fiefdom of Mr. Mallya. It is evident that neither the board was aware nor the management aware what is happening, or it was a silent board or board which was not doing any business, for just attending the board meeting and not going into the details. So to me, it is a case where it is a utter mismanagement there, and one person's rate was running large and he was able to do whatever he wanted.
And he should step down.
He should step down.
No, why should he step down? He is only a representative of UB Holdings on USL. As far as the loans to KFA is concerned, or any of the observations or of the auditor are concerned, Mr. Mallya was an interested party, and therefore he would have refrained from voting at that particular item. all the directors.
What voting are you talking about?
At the
Sanjay,
board
if I may
meeting.
reiterate the example I just gave you, there is a lien that's being created on USL's investments in order for an entity to extend a loan to Kingfisher, which is a Malia Group company. USL's management says we didn't know there was a lien being created on our investments. The board says we never approved anything of this nature. The company has made this disclosure itself in its accounts. How is it that this is all right?
Granted that the board may not have approved it, but the management.
The management says it has no knowledge of it. A lien is created on a company's asset, on a company's investment. The company doesn't know about it.
This is an observation of an auditor that management had no notice of it.
This is the disclosure of United Spirits on the basis of which it says we are going to investigate further.
Because
the board has directed a detailed and expeditious inquiry. This is what they found out based on the agreements that they've witnessed or seen.
Granted, so I'm only trying to say that how can we hold Mr. Vijay Mallya responsible for all this?
Because he's
If
the
the
beneficiary.
management, no, he's not the
Well, if
beneficiary.
it was not
I don't
Kingfisher,
think,
if it was not Kingfisher and it was some other third unrelated company, then maybe I would agree with you saying, yes, actually, how can you hold Mr. Mallya responsible? This is a loan being given to Kingfisher on the basis of some USL investments as the underlying.
fine, there may be investments of USL which may be
And USL doesn't know about
which may be pledged, which may be there may have a lien which would have been created. What I'm only trying to say here is that look, how can you hold a individual responsible for the purpose of lien? Why aren't you not blaming the USL management? Why are you not blaming USL board?
So you're saying the management and the board did all this, Mr. Mallya didn't know about it.
I'm not saying we don't know.
The
We don't know
unknowing,
whether
innocent
Mr.
bystander when
I'm
one
not
company
saying-
of his was taking a loan on the basis of investments made by another company of his, and that other company says we never knew anything about it.
I'm only saying that we cannot single out Dr. Vijay Mallya for this particular observation in the
Okay,
account.
fine. No, we'll leave one second. It's not just these suspicious-looking financial transactions that have prompted the question, is it time for Vijay Mallya to step down as chairman of the USL board? There are other reasons for why we're posing this question, and those are coming up right after this break. I want to bring up then the second instance on the basis of which I've asked this question, saying, is it time for Mr. Mallya to step down? The second instance is as recent as last week, right? We saw the public shareholders of United Spirits vote against a variety of related party transactions that were sought to be done between USL and several Mallya entities. I should add here, in the spirit of fairness, that they also voted against a variety of related party transactions to be done with Diageo. Clearly, this is the public shareholders of USL telling the management of USL, we don't approve of what's going on. This is an overt loss of confidence in the management of USL and the board of USL, including Mr. Mallya. Should he not step down then?
No, to my mind, no. I'll give you two reasons for it.
Okay.
One is Dr. Vijay Mallya has been running this business of spirits and alcohol for the last 35, 40 years. His father was running it. It's in his blood. He knows how to run this business, and he knows he has wealth of experience.
Is your defense for a man
One
who's
minute.
watched all this happen?
I'll answer all of that.
Okay.
And so therefore, because of his experience, why don't we not have him as the chairman? One single director or a chairman of a company is not going to make any difference. But his experience
Then why
does,
have him as a chairman?
but his experience does count.
No.
And secondly, as far as related party transactions are concerned, the shareholders, what experience do they have to know what are the detailed terms and conditions, and whether you do with a related party or you do with a rank outsider, whether it is going to be beneficial to the company or not.
I'll tell you why. Because I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
At the EGM, there were
Yes.
several resolutions put to vote.
Yes.
The shareholders did not vote en masse against all of them. They voted specifically against those resolutions that had to do
Because
with
they
a
were
Mallya
ignorant.
entity.
Because
An
they were
advertising
ignorant
agreement
about-
with Watson Limited, a sponsorship agreement with United Racing, a sponsorship agreement with United Mohan Bagan, an agreement
Because
with
they
UB
don't
Air.
know what are
These
the
are the things they
advantages.
voted against.
Yes, because
they
they
did not
don't
vote
know-
against everything. They selectively voted against these.
Granted, because they are ignorant about it as to what advantage
So you're
will
saying
USL
even
will
this
get.
is not grounds enough for him to step down?
I
Okay.
strongly disagree with all this for the simple reason you cannot say the shareholders are ignorant.
Of course they are ignorant. The fact that they voted against-
I like this defense.
that is very
it's
insulting.
the board to blame, the management to blame, and ignorant shareholders to blame. Mr. Mallya,
not
who's at the
Mr.
center
Mallya.
of all this,
See,
whose group companies have been transacting with each other without adequate disclosures or approval.
1 minute.
He's not to blame at all.
As long as they are doing it within four corners of law, Okay. The auditor,
So you
or
okay?
the auditor
explain,
has
you're
not
a corporate
remarked.
lawyer. You're a
Auditor has not
corporate
remarked
lawyer.
that it is not
You're
within the
a
four corners
corporate
of law.
lawyer. Can you explain
No,
to me
I-
how a lien can be created on investments made by USL without USL having knowledge of this lien?
Now, we don't know the real facts about it as to
It's- the company
why,
has-
as to
I'm
who has
not-
signed,
I'm not
who has
making this
signed a
up.
lien letter. Why can't we
So
get
some
hold of
unknown
somebody?
entity signed a
No, I'm not
lien
saying
letter
unknown
to get-
entity.
to give
Some
a
individual.
KFLO.
The management now cannot turn it around to say that, look, we did not know. Damn it, somebody else has signed a letter. A management person from USL has signed that lien letter.
I don't know who has
I-
signed
I-
it.
Exactly.
But I
In
will
which event?
refuse to believe,
How can they
even
now-
if I agree with you that Mr. Malia should not step down, I refuse to believe that Mr. Malia didn't know about it because it was his group entity that was benefiting from this transaction.
Maybe his
No,
group
it
entity
is-
was benefiting. So what?
It's-
I'm only saying the remark that the management was not aware. To my mind, it's complete nonsense for a simple reason. A lien,
So
creating a
everybody
lien,
is
creating a lien requires a signature of some high officer
I
of the
wonder
company.
who that high officer
exactly.
could be.
Now
Are
the
you
management.
sure it's not Mr. Malia? I don't know. I don't want to.
We don't know.
I don't want to
We
make
don't know.
allegations I don't have
It's
a basis
a conjecture
for.
as to who has
Okay,
signed a
fine.
lien
All
letter.
right, all right, all right.
But the management.
I will say a couple of things. First, Sanjay's argument is this: look, the only holy cow in USL was Mr. Malia, and
I'm not saying that.
Everyone,
I'm not saying that.
everyone else was out there to squander the money of USL right, left, and center to entities benefiting Mr. Malia. Then he says whether it is right or wrong, whether it is four walls of the law or not. I read out a comment of auditors, BSR Associate, in the last annual report. Which
The
is,
last is, this is for FY14.
Yeah, FY14.
The financials for which were delayed
Yeah.
because all this was
so
being discovered.
The auditors write, pending the completion of inquiry as mentioned in paragraph 4 under basis for qualified opinion, we are unable to conclude whether these instances can be termed as fraud or whether there are other instances of similar nature. I have yet to see any stronger argument or any stronger observation of auditors.
Okay, I know
To
how
my
Sanjay is going to
mind-
argue this.
to my
sir.
mind,
Even
they
if
should
it's
not have
fraud,
been there.
it doesn't mean
Then-
that.
To my mind, observation should not have been there by the
I
auditor
will-
at all.
Then I will say something. In the last resolution that they put to vote, the company has written, the company states that it has developed into an institution with efficient system, competent management practice and stringent operational control processes. Now these two are so contradictory. One says that you are
Okay,
such a
point
system.
made. Point made.
The auditor should have
third
observed that
premise
then.
on the basis
Yes.
of which I asked this question.
Yes.
Mr. Malia has been tagged as willful defaulter along with some colleagues of his, and as of a few days ago, his holding company UBHL has also been tagged as a willful defaulter. And this is not necessarily only by one bank, but several banks are pointing a finger in his direction. On the basis of which I suppose so, he's had to step down from the board of MCF because when he stepped down, he offered no explanation. His appointment on the board of Kingfisher Airlines has not received ministry approval either. The ministry has rejected that application. Don't you think that these external events combined and the fact that the tag of willful defaulter is not a good one, it could hurt the company whose board you're on because it could restrict that company's access to capital markets, etc. Don't you think that for the sake of USL, Mr. Malia should step down?
No, because willful defaulter under the RBI's master circular, who declares them? The lender themselves. And it is not an outside agency or a court or a statutory agency which is declaring a willful defaulter. It's a committee of the bank which is declaring. The lenders committee. I
So you're
would say
saying
what
it's not a
sanctity?
judicial pronouncement.
Yes, what sanctity
Therefore, it
does
has
it have?
no sanctity.
It has no
I think-
sanctity at
Okay,
all.
that's a fair point. He is disputing it, and we have yet to see how that court case will
Let
turn
it be
out.
adjudicated. At
Okay.
that point in time, one can answer.
My couple of questions that I have is this: why we are ready to give Mr. Malia the long rope?
Okay.
One. Secondly, this: in whose interest entire board or everything is working? It is in the interest of the entire company and all the shareholders. Mr. Malia is a minority shareholder today. Why Diageo should be going to that extent?
I'm glad you raised that, because when Mr. Malia was due for reappointment on the board of USL in October this year, Diageo, who was already aware of what all has gone on financially, etc., supported his reappointment. In fact, I just want to quote what Diageo had to say with regards to its support for Dr. Mallya as chairman. It says that UBHL remains entitled under the shareholders' agreement to nominate one director to the USL board, subject to it continuing to hold at least 1.3 million shares in USL and Dr. Mallya continuing to control UBHL. Diageo's contractual obligations to support Dr. Mallya continuing as non-executive director and chairman of USL are subject to these conditions, as well as the absence of certain defaults by UBHL or Dr. Mallya. They have sought shelter in a shareholder agreement. My question to you is very simple. Yes, maybe by the shareholder agreement, they need to do what they've done. But don't all these other circumstances warrant a rethink on the part of Diageo?
I would say a couple of things. If you read the terms of related party transaction, you find that such terms are nowhere in existence. It says that trademark is owned by this, and it is under a contract, USL will be able to use it. But if at all USL raises the question on the title of the trademark which is being assigned, then the whole contract will be cancelled.
Mr. Gupta, answer my question.
Yeah.
Should these circumstances that we've listed out in the discussion warrant a rethink on the part of Diageo that maybe governance is above their shareholder agreement, and for the sake of USL, they should not vote in favor of Mr. Mallya?
It is for in the interest of the company that they should do it, one. But I am surprised that for certain reasons, all these related party transactions were entered into just 1 month before the takeover was announced by Diageo.
Yes.
Now the question is this: at a time of takeover, you always do due diligence. If you had done due diligence, you would have found, and then you would have questioned Mr. Mallya that why this has been happened. There is
But
nothing
one second.
on the...
One second. Not only would they have done due diligence, they clearly approve of these related party transactions. Otherwise, they would have not brought them to vote by shareholders.
Yes, no, my point is this.
The audit committee would have scrutinized
These
that.
transactions are directly or indirectly benefiting Mr. Mallya. Some benefits are going personally to him directly. So my question is this: it is a question for regulator to question the company that was it some sort of a payment to Mr. Mallya which was not into the shareholders' knowledge, or
So, a premium,
all the facts.
premium to the acquisition.
Yeah.
Okay,
It is something-
it's a question you're raising, but
Yeah.
I don't know if the answer to that is
I'm
clear.
not sure.
Because
We
many
don't
of
know
these
all the facts,
RPTs are commercial agreements, so to speak, right? The use of UB Air.
No,
It may not be a payment that goes directly into Mr. Mallya's pocket,
How
right?
can such agreement be there that this agreement is valid till such time Mr. Mallya is the chairman? Then is it for the benefit of the company or for Mr. Mallya? How can such an agreement be there?
So some of the related party transactions
like this.
have this
Yeah.
clause in them.
That if Mr. Mallya resigns as a chairman, he is no longer chairman, the contract is off. What is this?
Okay. What is more superior? A shareholder agreement that requires Diageo to support Mr. Mallya's chairmanship, or the fact that there have been several lapses in governance that require Mr. Mallya to step down?
Diageo is a matured business organization. After considering the shareholders' agreement, the provisions of law and the governance, they would have considered all aspects of it. And then they would have come to a decision that, look, let Mr. Vijay Mallya continue as the chairman of the company. Now, if the company
At no
requires
point
him,
does it sound like they were happy with it. Because if you see the
We
press
don't
release,
know.
if you see the press release, it says that in accordance with the terms of the shareholder agreement, Diageo voted in favor of the resolution to reappoint Dr. Mallya as the director of USL. They're not defending Dr. Mallya, they're just simply saying we are bound by contract to do so.
yeah, but if they had to say something, then they could have also said something adverse about Dr. Mallya.
Okay, fair
The
enough.
fact that they have not stated,
So,
which would mean that
None
they
of
have
my
considered
arguments have convinced you that it is time for Dr. Mallya
to step
down as
No,
chairman of USL.
He should continue as the chairman of
Okay.
USL.
Okay.
And it is the audit committee which has to look into the related party transaction, see whether they are in the interest of the company and its shareholders. The fact that the audit committee has approved it, the board has approved it, and the board comprises 50% of independent directors. It's the shareholders.
Many of which
Who have-
stepped down recently and did not
Maybe.
offer themselves up for reappointment.
Maybe.
And a whole new bunch of independent directors have been appointed now.
The fact that the new independent directors have accepted the position as independent director would say that, look, they are comfortable with USL. I'm only on the point that these transactions which went to the shareholders were seen or scrutinized by the audit committee and thereafter approved by the board, and then only it went to the shareholders. They took a deep dive and they saw that yes, it is in the interest of the company. And therefore, they put it before the shareholders. Shareholders were blissfully ignorant as to whether they are it is in the interest of the company or not.
I will contest you on that, Sanjay.
We don't
I'm
know.
not sure that you can call shareholders blissfully ignorant, not because I have some great love in my heart for retail shareholders. Often they are ignorant or quiet, but they have voted definitely against specific related party transactions to prove that they were clearly not happy with what was going on at USL.
I would request Sanjay to read our report and report of other proxy advisors.
Surely I will read.
And then he will know that what analysis all of us have pointed out, and maybe contact some funds which have voted against.
You believe that it's time that Mr. Mallya, even though the law doesn't require him to step down, steps down as chairman of USL because none of this speaks too well of him?
See, ethically, morally, and from the governance perspective, he should step down. Secondly, because of the cloud hanging on his image about all these shady transactions and the auditor's remarks and all those issues of loan being given, not available, not known to the management or to the board, all those things, it is the time that he should step down.
All right, gentlemen, I have to end this here. We're entirely out of time. But thank you very much. We have two different points of view on whether Vijay Mallya should step down as chairman of USL or not. You can make up your own mind. Which side do you agree with? Before I say goodbye, I just want to bring to your attention that this is our 350th episode of The Firm. Thank you for being such a fabulous audience. We'll see you next week.